Hi Molly, just want to thank you so much for asking us to answer the questions that you had about missionary work. I'm not sure if you're the only one that's going to see this or if you were going to actually show it to somebody. So if it's for other people, I'm going to introduce ourselves. I am Jenny Bland. I used to be the school nurse at Leroy, and this is my husband, Brian. And currently we live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're doing ministry work. So I'm just going to go through and answer the questions that you sent us the best that we can, okay? So the first one said, how did we know that, that we wanted to be part of missionary work? So I'll answer that one because I kind of was the first one that that really thought we needed to do this. So in 2011, I went for my very first mission trip to Guatemala with my sister, and I went to work at the orphanage where two of my nieces had been adopted from, and during that week, my life was changed. I didn't want to come back. I just wanted to stay and help. My heart was just broken for the kids and the people in that country. I just had never witnessed anything like that before. So I really just wanted to call my husband and say, gather up the kids and the pets and come meet me here. But God had different plans. So it took several years and a big long process. That's another whole interview to tell you how that all came about. Tons of cool stories that you know forever changed our lives. So the next question you had was, what have you done to help, and where are some of the places that you volunteered? So I'll let Brian answer that one.
Well, in 2013, we fundraised and got support to work as missionaries. We moved to the Dominican Republic, and we worked for a ministry called GoMad Ministries, and they fight human exploitation. So they anybody that's working forced into prostitution or child labor, they work to try to help get out. So we moved there, and Jenny ran a health clinic there for GoMad, and I did maintenance and helped build a facility, a new doctor's facility that they were going to have there. And we decided to go. We came here for Sydney's wedding in December of 2014 to Vegas for the first time, and saw all the poverty and the homelessness here. So we went back to the DR, and that's when we felt, you know, God calling us to come back here to Vegas to try to do something here. So we've got our 501c3 last year, and we now work with the feeding ministry in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we opened our own ministry called Goodness Gracious Ministries, and what we do is, I'm probably jumping a few questions ahead, but what we do is we send backpacks of food home for kids on the weekends, so kids that get the free the free lunches for breakfast and lunch at school, and then they go hungry all weekend. So we send bags of food home for them, and then we also just go out and hand out food during the week whenever we can, however much we can, and just really share God's love, just try to tell people that they're not alone, try to give them hope, and then we have other things that we're working on in the future too to kind of broaden the ministry. But we just bought a food truck, so just like the really cool food trucks that you see, and it's getting renovated right now, so soon we'll be able to, instead of just taking sandwiches and sack lunches out, we'll be able to cook warm meals and really sit down with the people and you know, just have a lot more time with them. So, and we also want to teach, like, you know, older teens and young adults, you know, the culinary field, teach them. We're gonna have chefs that come and help teach them how to cook, and then try to find them job placement, so that they're not, you know, following that life of, you know, living in homelessness. So it says that one of the questions is, what is your normal routine when helping with a ministry, if you have one? So what we learned by living in the Dominican is you kind of have a routine, and then a lot of things change along the way, and so there's a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of things that God kind of opens doors, and sometimes you have a plan and you kind of change the plan because you just see something that God will put on your heart. And if you don't pay attention to those, or if you don't follow them, you really miss out on some really crazy, wonderful opportunities. So we have a pretty normal routine of, feeding people and going out and just making relationships with people and praying with everybody and, handing out the food. But it's those other ones that, the other unseen things that you're not planning that are really, really cool. So I'll let you read the next one.
What is your favorite thing about missionary work? For me, it would be being, like since it's our full-time job, just being aware and being sensitive to situations around you all the time, where if you see somebody that needs help, or on the street that might need something, that anytime we'll pull over, we'll talk to them, we'll get them something to eat, we'll ask them what way we can help. But it's just being feeling like that I know people can do that all the time, but usually with a normal job that I had for 25 years, you're tired and you get home. But this one, being in ministry work, every day you feel like you're just on alert or on guard for situations where you can help people.
Yeah, it's really cool because we have the luxury of where, like if you're out at lunch and you see somebody that's sitting on the road or hasn't, had any, or you're out at lunchtime and you see people that you can actually stop, talk to them, buy them lunch, spend some time with them, and that we don't have to hurry up and get back to the office, that we can actually just do that full time, that we're not just so busy in our own lives that we can't pay attention to those things. So any specific special fun memories or moments that we'd like to share?
I have a lot of them.
Oh gosh, how long can this tape be, Molly? In the Dominican Republic, special fun memories and moments, I have so many. Probably one of my favorite is that we got to take in a little boy named Lanzi, and he was from Haiti, and he was in the Dominican Republic for some surgery. He had been set on fire by some friends, I guess, and about 3 years prior, I think, right? And he was there, he had lived in a hospital for 3 years in Haiti, and it wasn't like a US hospital, it was like a hospital that basically had beds, some of them without mattresses. They didn't have food to feed the patients, so he would have to go outside and beg every day for food. And he met a friend of ours who's a missionary. She was helping him get corrective surgery. Ended up, he stayed with us for about 6 to 8 months maybe. He only spoke Creole, and we only spoke English. So it was really fun trying to figure out what we were saying. And
14, was he 14 at the time?
yeah, 15.
15.
Yeah,
so
15 at the time. So we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we communicated, and it was just amazing.
In the end, when we moved, well, he got to go back with his family after that, and to go to school in Haiti, which was better for him. So he's now in school in Haiti.
He's doing very well. We just got a picture of him, and he's actually able to move his arms and stuff where before he wasn't able to because of the therapy that he did. So that was amazing. But and then oh gosh, I got so many. I can't start going on with them. But
the Dominican, relationships and like Dominican sons we had down there.
Yeah, we have lots of children, and from there that we Skype with a lot still here. And here, I think just some of the best memories, the best moments that I've seen so far are just when we're talking to people and you see that they're starting to get that relationship with God. It's just clicking with them and they're getting hope. One of the coolest ones, and we actually had a video of that on Facebook too, that we just accidentally caught this on video, that we handed out a very last lunch one day, and a lady came running up and she's like, well, wait, and I said, I'm sorry, we're done. She's like, it's okay. So nice that, and I don't know when she had eaten last, and another homeless man turned around and handed his lunch to her. And we were all like, he didn't know when his next meal was gonna come, but he gave away the meal that he had. So even she was just like, stood there like shocked that somebody would just give her a lunch when you don't have any food yourself. So it's just those moments that just stick with you forever. So
The next question said, what is your main goal or goals? I think Jenny kind of went over a lot of those that we're doing now, but, we just want to, the ministry, we want to, feed people both physically and spiritually. That's our ministry,
Our
mission
main,
statement.
our main goals are to get people to have a relationship with Christ. And I think you can't just go up and say, hey, you ought to do this. It's just by showing people Christ's love, by, just being there for them, talking to them, helping them in any way that you can without just handing them money and all that kind of stuff. But just walking the way that Jesus did when he was on earth, and it just sparks people. That's how my relationship with him started. I saw somebody else's relationship and went, I want that, and I was like 34 years old when I got a true relationship with Christ. So I know it can happen, and I know that usually when people are down on their luck or down on, when something bad has happened, is usually when you're looking up. So that's our main goal. So it says, who do you recommend missionary work for?
Everybody.
Everybody. But I guess because everybody has missionary work. That doesn't mean to move off to another country. It doesn't mean to quit your job. It doesn't mean to, do something radical, although those things are really, really cool. And if you ever get the opportunity, do it, if you feel called to that. But everybody can do missionary work where they are. You can do it at school and work and
grocery store.
Brian's brother was just here visiting, and he's a chief of police, and he ministers to people when he's got them in the back of his squad car. He said that's the best time. So, we all do it all the time. But if you're thinking the radical way, like kind of what we did, selling everything, moving off, it's got to be somebody who's a little bit crazy like us. Just doesn't want to walk the way that the world does, and somebody who's got a really, really strong relationship with God, because you need it, and it grows more during all this too. But somebody who's pretty laid back and kind of can go with it, because it's just different. Pretty brave. You got to be brave.
And then the next question was, how can you prepare yourself to go on the missionary work? I mean, it's just your relationship with Christ. Work on that. That's the most important thing. And then
talk to a lot of missionaries,
church, your church,
go on a lot
pastor,
of trips,
mission leaders.
Yeah, and really follow what God's telling you to do. We had churches that actually were like, hey, maybe you should go here, to a different country that they thought we should go to, and we really stuck with what we felt God was calling us to do. We only listened to God. We didn't listen to corporate religion kind of things that said you should do this. And
we saw a lot of great things after that.
It was, and we had people saying, oh, your timing isn't right. You need to wait to this and this. And we're like, nope, we're going to listen to what God told us. And when we went to the Dominican Republic, about a month after I was there, after we were there, I was acting as the doctor at the clinic, and a young girl that was like 15, and she was a prostitute. She was from Haiti. She came in and wanted to give me her baby, and we worked with her for a long time, and because I couldn't just take her baby. I wanted to take her baby, but I couldn't take her baby. And had we not been there, this little girl stopped breathing when she was in her office. We found out she had a cleft palate, very sick child. Ended up, friends of ours adopted her that are missionaries from Canada that we met there, and I am 100% sure that she would not be alive had we not gone then, because Dominicans are very, do what's right. And so the doctor and the nurse that worked at my office would have been like, you go home and take care of your child and you do the right thing. But this mom wouldn't have done that. She couldn't do it. And I know that little girl would not be alive, and she is just an amazing child. So follow God, don't follow anybody else. So
Jenny, what is your favorite quote to go by every day?
Jenny, what is your favorite quote? I don't know it 100%, but I love the book. It was one I studied. It's Lisa TerKeurst. I think that's how you say her name. And she just says, every morning before I wake up, before my feet hit the floor, I say, whatever you have planned for me, God, I say yes. Even before I know what it is, I say yes.